What is life like on Lake Lanier? How big is it? Is it safe for my family? And is there really a town under the lake? I'm Sarah Maslowski with KeyPoint Homes by Sarah, and today I'm going to answer all of those questions and more, including the most popular question I get, which is, where is my favorite spot to eat on the lake? Okay, really, no one's asking me that question, but I think you should know about it. All right, so Lake Lanier is a 38,000 acre reservoir that is located about an hour north of Atlanta, and it spans through 5 different counties, but it primarily touches Gwinnett, Hall, and Forsyth County in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains. It's a huge tourist destination, and we welcome almost over 12 million of these tourists each and every single year. So if you've heard anything about Lake Lanier, you will know that it's a man-made lake, and it came to be in 1956 when the Army Corps of Engineers completed the Beaufort Dam on the Chattahoochee River by blocking that water flow. And so the Corps built the lake to manage the navigation and flood control of the Chattahoochee River. It also provides hydroelectricity and supplies water for the city of Atlanta, as well as other states. And Lake Lanier is named after a Georgia native, Sidney Lanier, who was a poet and a novelist. And in fact, the lake was actually built on top of many communities in the area. Over 700 families had to move away from the lake whenever they started the building of the lake. Some moved their homes, but others just moved their possessions and left all the buildings where they were. So whenever the Army Corps of Engineers were doing the construction of the lake, they removed any buildings and structures that would be tall enough to extend above a water depth of 35 feet at the high water level. Those were completely taken down. However, there are tons of structures that are still underneath the lake. And in fact, there's 160 islands that you see whenever you're out on Lake Lanier. Those are actually the hilltops of some of those farmlands that were left whenever the lake was constructed. And there was a huge drought in 2007 that we had. If you've lived around here, you knew about that. But that drought exposed a lot of things under the lake that many residents had never seen before. And part of that was an old stadium stand of an old racetrack, which you can see in this picture. Isn't that really cool? So the lake encompasses 38,000 acres of water and 692 miles of shoreline at its normal level, or what we call full pool. And so that's a level of 1,071 feet above sea level. And so the states of Georgia, Alabama, and Florida, they all have the rights to the water in the reservoir, and it feeds rivers going, in and out of those areas. And a little known fact, or locals know this fact, Lake Lanier was also host to the rowing and canoeing events during the 1996 Summer Olympics. Those were held on the north end of the lake, and there's a great venue there that you can visit. They still have many rowing competitions that they host all throughout the year. It's really, really a cool asset that we have on the lake. Not only is Lake Lanier a huge tourist destination, but it's also a popular place to live, as you can imagine. On the lake, you're going to find a variety of styles of homes, neighborhoods, and prices. You'll find everything from small family single homes to sprawling estates priced in the millions. You also have the popular active adult community, Crestland on Lake Lanier, and you even have apartment complexes that give you pretty great lake views. There's truly something for everyone here. As mentioned before, the Army Corps built the lake, and they also manage and control the lake and its surrounding properties, including issuing dock permits. The Army Corps stopped issuing permits in 2016, which has caused the prices of lake homes to increase steadily, along with the strong demand that we have for homes on the lake and a strong real estate market in the metro Atlanta area. Well, prices of lake homes continue to go up. Some of the other things that you're going to want to note is that you don't always own all the land leading down to the lake. It depends on the property lines, but sometimes, and most of the time, there's a good kind of chunk of land right next to the water that is owned by the Army Corps of Engineers. And as with anything in the government, you have lots of rules and regulations about what you can and can't do with that property. If you aren't familiar with Lake Lanier, most visitors and potential lake buyers are surprised to find that the docks on Lake Lanier are floating docks. And this is because, as mentioned before, the water levels vary because of the Beaufort Dam. The docks have to be floating in order to give way for those higher levels of water and when the water levels drop. This creates a need to bring your dock in and out as the water levels go down, and during periods of heavy rain, those are going to cause you to want to bring your dock in. Many potential homeowners are also surprised to find that you need to get the Army Corps of approval before doing anything to your dock or on that land that we mentioned before. The size of the dock permit is typically what is allowed at the property. You can go a little bit smaller, but you can't necessarily always go bigger. There's a joke there, but I won't make it. I mentioned that Lake Lanier is a huge tourist attraction, and you don't have to live on the lake to enjoy it. You can access the lake through over 76 boat ramps you can bring your boat to and put it in. User fees are charged for launching at most boat ramps, and the boat ramps are pretty much open year round, but sometimes you're going to see those may be closed if the water levels are low at that boat ramp. If you don't have a boat, no problem. There are a variety of boat rental companies all throughout the lake. They offer everything from jet skis to pontoons and mega cruisers. There are 9 marinas that serve Lake Lanier throughout the 5 counties it's located in, and combined they can hold over 7,500 boats in their wet and dry slips. They're open year-round, and they offer complete boating amenities. They're really popular for gas docks that they have. There's nothing worse than being stranded out on the lake without any gas in your boat, so make sure that you gas up before you go out. And many of these marinas have lakeside restaurants, several places to eat. I have a really great video that you should watch on that, and drumroll, my favorite restaurant on the lake is Pigtails, and that's located at Aqualand Marina. Lake Lanier is also huge for fishing. The Bassmaster Elite Series often takes place on Lake Lanier, so if you're big into fishing, you'll know what that is, and that is also pretty cool. And although fishing is really popular on Lake Lanier, for some reason my husband can't catch a fish to save his life. Don't tell him, don't show him this video. If you don't have a boat but you want to experience some of the lake and summer fun, make sure you check out Margaritaville at Lake Lanier Island. It's formerly known as Lake Lanier Island, and the locals here, we still refer to it as that. It has a huge water park that has recently been revamped, and it is an awesome place to go. Great destination for kids and family all throughout the year. They've got things in the winter, and also, you can't go wrong taking your kids and family there. Summer, you can drive there, or if you're on boats or with friends, you can drive up on your boat. One of the questions I get asked frequently is, how crowded does the lake get, and does it have a party atmosphere? And I have to tell you, that all depends on what you're looking for. So it's not uncommon for the lake to be crowded in the main parts of the lake during the weekends and on popular holidays such as Memorial Day, 4th of July, or Labor Day weekend. If you want to cruise and people watch, this is the perfect weekend or time to do that. You can see all kinds of people out and about on their boats. Lots of fun to get out there, cruise around, wave at people, give them the old head nod as we do here in Georgia. But if you're looking to see kind of like a party atmosphere, it's not uncommon to find 5 to 6, sometimes more, boats tied up in a cove or a quiet area of the lake to kind of create their own party atmosphere. Families will also often kind of meet up. They have their own little meetup spots, and I'm sure that you're going to find your own meetup spots as well. And you can kind of make of it what you want. You can have that party atmosphere if you want. And of course, you can always head to Cocktail Cove or Sunset Cove. Those are 2 areas of the lake that are known for that more of a party style atmosphere. But if you are looking for a family-friendly atmosphere, you can find that no matter the day or the time of the year. Because Lake Lanier is so huge, there are tons of places for families to gather and find peace and quiet. You'll often find pontoons and small cruisers beached on the beaches of the islands. It's so much fun to find a really quiet little beach, drive your pontoon up there, hop out, have the kids play on the beach. You can be floating in the water. You'll hear music playing. People also plant their grills out there, and they'll grill out and kind of stake claim to that little island for the day. So there's plenty of options of where you can find those quiet places. You're also going to find tons of options and plenty of room for water skiing, tubing, and the ever popular wakeboarding and wake surfing, no matter what the time of year or the weekend. It's a huge lake. There's lots of places you can go with very little trouble. And again, because the lake is so big, you don't have to worry about those crowds, and any day on the lake is a great day. If you don't have a boat, we mentioned earlier that you can go to Margaritaville at Lake Lanier Islands, or you can also find 4 different campground parks throughout the lake for a unique lake experience, or you can visit one of the many public day uses parks that we have here. There's over 12 different parks that you can go to. They're going to have public beaches, picnic tables, and playgrounds to enjoy. So Lake Lanier offers something for everyone, and you should definitely visit. In fact, many people love it so much they decide to make it their year-round vacation spot, or they buy a second home. I help buyers and sellers from all over buy and sell property on and near Lake Lanier, and I'd love to do the same for you. Call me today. In the meantime, if you're considering that, you're going to want to check out this video for a more in-depth overview on some of the pros and cons to living on Lake Lanier.